Hi everybody, Nita Jackson here. I'm an Orange Elite Status with presenter with Younique, and I just wanted to share something with you all. At the weekend, I was asked to do a public speech for a training event for over 200 amazing women, and I thought that I did it, but I thought that this would be a really good opportunity for me to share my story and my journey with you girls, and for some people who might not know. So, when Leanne Anderson, she's a Black Status presenter with Younique, and she's my mentor and one of my best friends now. We've become really close. Her and I got the chance to go to GoPro UK, which is a massive, massive training event put on by some of the biggest leaders within network marketing. And they did it in Manchester, and it was absolutely amazing, totally mind-blowing. But Tony Robbins, who's a motivational speaker, had just done a kind of 3-hour seminar, if you like, in which he got us to do crazy things. We were jumping around, hugging random members of the audience, telling them our life stories, etc. Just really breaking down all your kind of boundaries. And I'll never forget it, because he said, "You're all capable of achieving amazing things. You just have to say yes and then believe in yourself." And we're like, yeah. And at which point, Leanne, who is, as I say, my mentor, turned around and she said to me, "So you're going to do the training event. You're going to do a public speech for me." Yay! I said, "Oh!" But for me, public speaking is my biggest fear. It literally cripples me. I feel myself go red. I start thinking that people are thinking I'm talking rubbish. Just anything that you could think of, your voice back on the mic, lots and lots of different reasons, and it just kind of paralyzes me with fear. And I'm happy talking to my team. I'm happy with people on like a group basis, but public speaking literally petrifies me. Anyway, I did it, and I just thought to myself, once I committed to it, I thought, well, you've got no choice. You've got to do this. So when I was thinking about the fact of my journey, etc., I was asked to talk about. So the subject I was asked to talk about was mindset and determination. And when I was thinking about that, I thought that it kind of reflected my journey with Younique and what I've achieved. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it, and just a little bit about me. So first and foremost, I'm a mummy to two amazing boys, Ethan and Liam. Ethan is 8 and Liam is 2. They're both really, really boisterous, so it's fair to say that on a daily basis I have my hands full. I'm a busy single working mummy. So I've always kind of been a happy, bubbly type of person. Some might say ditzy. But in October 2014, all that kind of changed, and I'd been going through quite a hard time for a while. And I found myself kind of lost, scared, and to be honest with you, really, really miserable. I'd kind of reached a point in my life where I just didn't know where to go. I was just stuck. I didn't know which direction to go in. So you might be wondering where that bubbly girl had gone. Well, in 2009, I was diagnosed with a degenerative spinal condition, and every day I suffer with chronic pain in my back, my hips, my legs. My left leg hasn't got a lot of feeling in it, and if it wasn't for medication, a lot of medication on a daily basis, I literally wouldn't be able to get out of bed. I'm in so much pain most days, and in 2012, I had my first of my 2 spinal operations, and they put some metal pins and plates on my spine. And for a little while, the kind of pain did improve. And my surgeon said it was safe for me to have another baby, so hence Liam come along. But unfortunately, shortly after having Liam, the pain just come back with a complete vengeance, and I was pretty much just broken, could hardly move, had a newborn baby. And a full-time job, and Ethan as well, and as you can imagine, house, etc. And I was just literally in tears most days, just felt like I couldn't cope with it. And then, sadly, on top of that, my marriage was failing, despite trying quite hard to fix it, very hard to fix it. We kind of, by the time that Liam had reached the age of 1, we made a decision to split, and that it would be best for our boys if we weren't together anymore. So, as you can imagine, that was a real tough time for me. So then there I am, a single mum with a spinal disability, trying to juggle my boys and my job and everything that I've just said. And then by the October, I was back in hospital having the second spinal operation because the plates and the pins had moved. And it was really dangerous. They were digging through my spine. So when I woke up, honestly, it was to the worst fear I think I've ever experienced in my life. The fear and crippling pain. The pain was horrific. I couldn't feel my left leg. They touched the nerves and caused a bit of damage. I couldn't move my body. I was just in absolute fear. And they had taken bone out of my pelvis to rebuild the base of my spine. So it was a massive operation. And recovery was just absolutely horrific. I was in intensive care for a few days. And then they, all of a sudden, after a week in hospital, they're saying I could go home. But I've got 2 babies. I've got 2 kids to look after. And it was really hard. So I'm in agreement with my ex-husband for him to have the boys whilst I recovered mostly. So they would sleep at his, and I would see them maybe for an hour or 2 during the day. And I really missed my babies. It was really hard for me. And I'm quite a firm believer in focusing on positives, but when I was preparing for this speech, my sponsor, Kirsten, who's amazing, told me that I have to be completely frank and honest and just explain to everybody a bit about my disability. But it's not something that I focus on too much because I just believe in focusing on positives. So I might get a little bit upset, so excuse me if I do. So as I say, I was just literally terrified. The recovery was really difficult. But the hardest thing for me was the isolation. I'm quite a sociable person, and I just felt really isolated for about 6 months. I couldn't walk, I couldn't move, I couldn't I couldn't even make myself dinner. So it was really difficult. And I gradually started to get a little bit better, but unfortunately my employers at the time, Solent University, decided that I wasn't fit for work, that basically they felt it was a health and safety issue, and they decided to medically dismiss me. So you can imagine the fear. I ended up obviously being a single mum, so my income was everything to me. So I've just all of a sudden found out that I've lost my job. I've got a mortgage, so finding the money was becoming more difficult. I was getting into debt, and I really needed to make sure that I could keep a roof over my kids' heads, because being a mum, that's probably that's the basic thing you have to do, is provide for your children in that way. So I was scared, I was petrified. I just thought that I was going to lose my home. Me and the kids were going to be in some council emergency accommodation. And I was proud of the fact that I owned my own house and that I'd worked very hard to get to this stage of my life. So anyway, I'm not telling you all of this for sympathy. Well, maybe a little bit. But then Younique came into my life, which was just a complete lifesaver for me. Can't tell you how much it saved my life. And one of the first things we're taught when we join Younique is to establish your why. And it's about, why you want your business to succeed, why you're doing this. And for me, obviously, my why is my boys and my kids. And I want them to have the life that they deserve. I want them to know that it doesn't matter what life throws at you. You can actually pick yourself up and you can do anything. If you want it, you can do it. You just have to believe in yourself. So, I want them to know that despite everything, my disability, etc., I have managed to make something of my life. That's really important to me. And obviously I want to give them nice things. I want to take them on holidays of a lifetime. I want them to travel. I want them to know that there's just more than the 9 to 5 daily grind where you're working for somebody else, you're building somebody else's dreams. I just really believe that strongly that, there is more to life than that. I'm not dissing anybody that's got a job, but for me, it just felt like that wasn't what I was put here to do. So that's my why. So it's been a year since I joined Younique, a year this month. And contrary to what you might think, it hasn't always been, plain sailing. There's been lots of ups and downs. So I've had loads of obstacles that I've had to overcome in this time. It took me a little while to get to our first promotion, which is yellow. But once I got there and the ball was rolling, I realised that obviously I had an opportunity that meant I could stay at home with my children, I could pay my bills, I could work from home. And actually, Joe, it's something I'm really passionate about. Makeup and beauty and things are just something that I just, start talking about and I get really passionate about. So for me, it just seemed like a no-brainer. It's like, why would I not do this? £69 for over £200 worth of makeup. Yeah, so just as I say, made sense to join. I realised, obviously, when I started Younique that I had to work on myself. My confidence was at an all-time low. And I just threw myself in. I threw myself into everything that I could learn. Anything to do with self-development, anything to do with network marketing. I just worked, started to read and really kind of found that sense of worth again. And I strongly believe that my journey really only began when I realised that it was only myself that would stop it from happening. And the only person that wouldn't, the only way I wouldn't achieve my goals was if I stopped and if I didn't do it. So I began to work my little self-believing butt off and started recruiting and building a team. And oh my gosh, I was so excited. I recruited like 20 people in 1 month, and it was amazing. So, but obviously I had obstacles. I had things that come the way, the kids, the emotional issues about dealing with my kind of split, etc. Time management, trying to fit it in around my kids. When was I going to do it? When did I have the time? My back as well, obviously. And negativity, a lot of negativity. So, in particular, my family, well, my family mostly have been really, really supportive. But my friends weren't so supportive. And I have lost a few friends because I obviously changed and I'd found a purpose and I was putting something else first. I don't know. But facing negativity about the opportunity was definitely something that I came across. And, learning how to build a team, learning how to get them motivated and what to do when, etc. It's all a learning curve. So I've certainly had to kind of develop all these skills really quickly, because that's the thing about network marketing. You've got to be really quick and just get yourself up to speed. And, finding the right mindset as well. So I've had most obstacles, but I believe that it's we all have obstacles in life, but it's how you deal with them that matters the most. Whether you look at it as a problem or a solution or something to find a solution for. And I think there's a solution for everything. So find the positives and just find your focus, and you will get there. So back to my little journey, I had 20 other teamies, about 20 teamies at once, and I was really working relentlessly. When the boys went to bed, I would start to recruit, build my team. But you can imagine my kind of horror when I realised that the majority of the ladies that I had recruited so far were kidnappers. And they just wanted the kit, but they didn't tell me and they didn't respond. So I'm trying to message them and they're not messaging me back. And 20 is like a huge number. You get the odd kidnapper, but to have 20 at once is massive. So I was just like completely like, oh my gosh. But at the same time, I knew this could happen. I knew it could happen. I knew the journey was possible. I'd seen Leanne do it. I'd seen loads of other leaders do it. So I knew that it could work and that I could do it. So I just had to keep on going. So I did. And if I don't quit after 20 kidnappers, then you shouldn't quit after the fact that you might not have had any sales or you might not have had any luck recruiting so far, because I had all that. It takes time. It takes time to build up that audience. It takes time to build up that market, and you just have to keep going. Nobody fails in this business. The only way you will fail is if you quit So keeping going really just isn't. It's just, you've got to. It's not an option. So I hit pink status, and I was so excited, and I was working towards blue, and so close. I got so close. I think I got to like 10% off blue and didn't get it. So again, it's a bit of a disappointment, and I'm just thinking, oh my gosh. But that month, Kirsten, my sponsor, went green elite. And I just reinforced everything that I knew that it could be done. So, but I do remember feeling really, really frustrated, just so like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know if I could do this. And I remember really clearly saying to Kirsten and Leanne, if I don't hit blue this month, then I'm going to quit. And they just laughed at me, obviously. They thought it was highly amusing, the cheek. But I meant it at the time. But that month, I went pink, blue, and green, which is huge. It's a Vanity Fair first. Nobody else has done that since that I know of. And all the hard work that I'd been putting in, it just kind of come together at once. So could you imagine if I'd quit? Imagine where I'd be, if I hadn't kept on with the hard work, the late nights of recruiting, the constant conversations with people that we have to have. I just, from my experience, the point of where you're about to quit is generally the point where the magic starts. You're just about there. Just keep going over that last little bit when you think you can't do it anymore. And that's when the magic kicks in, and that's when you can do this. You can totally do this. So, my tips are basically to be, write down your goals, write down why. It's so important to write these things down, because until you write them down, they're just in your head. But when you put them onto paper, they're concrete goals. Take consistent daily action. So do your posts every day, do your recruitment, sowing the seeds. Make sure you're checking your back office. All those little things will eventually add up, and they will bring together what you need to happen. Work on your inner self and totally learn how to believe in yourself, because you can do this. We all can. There's no reason why we can't. And I totally believe that mindset is 70% of what we need within this business. And if you don't believe in yourself, then who's going to believe in you? Who's going to trust you? Who's going to, when you're talking to other ladies about this opportunity, how are they going to have the conviction if you don't have the conviction? How are they going to believe in that? So it's so, so important to work on that self-belief and mindset. And invest in yourself. You deserve to take 20 to 30 minutes each day to do a little bit of training, and to do a little bit of learning or self-development. Just even that time out just to close your eyes and think about your goals, visualize what you want. You really do need to do that every day. And trust me, it will help. It will help you to get tougher, help you deal with any rejection that you're probably going to face within this kind of job. So, and I think, being persistent as well. Being persistent in this business means totally stepping out of your comfort zone, like I did when I did my public speech. But you have to push yourself. It was so scary for me, but now that I conquered it, now that I've done it, the feeling that I got knowing that I had done it, even if I don't care if nobody understood me, if I'd mumbled my way through it, I did it. As it goes, I hadn't mumbled my way through it, and people, the ladies that were there, just their support and their love and the messages I've had have been totally overwhelming, and really kind of blew my mind, to be honest with you. To think that I've inspired people is amazing. The feeling was such a high. So be unreasonable about your goals. Set big goals, dream big. Why not? Well, just dream and write out what you want to do. And even when you're getting little or no results, or you feel like you're wasting your time, then you just need to keep going. Like I say, it's just a repetition game. And trust me, if you want it badly, there's no limits to what you will achieve. I believe that some people succeed because they were destined, but most people succeed because they're determined, and they just keep that going, that drive. They keep going. They just don't stop. So being determined, it's having that fixed purpose. It's the power to persist, the resolve, the drive, have the grit to keep on going on a daily basis, and just kind of being hell bent on getting that goal done no matter what. So, and if you do these, and I promise you, if you follow all these steps, then you will get the results. You know, as I said, I'm now orange elite status. I'm so close to purple status, and I just can't imagine if I quit where I would be now. I think, to be honest with you, I would be in a very dark place. Sorry, I'm turning my notes over. And why should we do all this? Why do I advise you to keep going with your goals and your dreams? Because 1 year ago, I was literally, honestly, I was waiting for my kit to arrive, and at that stage, I had no idea that this was about to change my life, and it has. I would have lost my house. I would have been homeless. I would have been on disability benefits because I can't go out to work with my disability. So this really, really has, changed things for me. I was so desperately lonely and scared and just couldn't find a way out. And now things are like, oh God, they're a million times better. Just from saying yes, just from, opening my mind to those opportunities. Not only can I pay my mortgage, I can afford for us to live. I've just literally paid for most of my house to be refurbished. New carpets throughout, a new kitchen's going in, brand new furniture. And that's just such an amazing feeling to know that I've done that I've contributed and I've succeeded. I earn a full-time wage but work part-time hours. I work on my terms around my boys when it suits me, not the other way around. And I'm just so proud of myself. But it's not just about financial gain. It's given me back my confidence. That bubbly girl, she's back and she's better than ever, I think. I'm so happy now. I'm in such a good place. This social element of this job is amazing. I've made the best friends I could ever ask for. Kirsten and Leanne and all the girls, Natalie within my team, and just helping other women to reach their goals is totally mind-blowing to know that I can help somebody else change their life. It really is, it's kind of makes me quite emotional just thinking about it. So yeah, I mean, how amazing is all of that? If I've done all of this in a year, just think about what the next year is going to bring. So going to be black status. And just to finish, in the words of Tony Robbins, you are all capable of amazing things. Just say yes and then believe in yourself. Okay, thank you for listening. I love you all loads. Mwah!